Hello, viewers. This is a new episode of the Taking Chances podcast. It's your lovely host, Justin.
And Burnett.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So I'm super excited for this episode. This one's going to be a little bit of hometown Bridgeport glory. So I'm super excited to get these guests on. But first, we're bringing them on. I have to kind of tell you about what it's going to be centered on. So in this installment, we're going to be taking another highlight and look into Black entrepreneurship. But I thought it would be a really great kind of spin of things that kind of bring in, give a perspective from the Black women that are entrepreneurs in the business, and to kind of give a little bit of a deep look into entrepreneurship in the pandemic world. So, of course, in this series, we love to have reinforcement. So before we get into it, I kind of want to introduce two people that are very near and dear and special to my heart. They're two of my four sisters. So I'm going to start with the eldest. Her name is Raijona Crear. She is a Bridgeport native like myself. She has a clothing line called Hot Shit the Label. It was a label created with encouraging self-love, self-preservation, acceptance, as well as the intent to inspire living with confidence. And she has started with this brand, and it has blossomed into so many different things. From this clothing line, it jump-started her career as a budding music artist, and she also is a small business owner within the city of Bridgeport right now with her own smoke shop. So, and then we have my younger sister, Chyna Fleming, who has Zemi Beauty Bar, which is a beauty brand which was inspired by a mother's love for her daughter. Chyna brought in our beautiful Zemi. She's her daughter, in which Chyna had the desire to want to create a business to leave something behind for her daughter. And within that business, Chyna used her creative talents to learn to become a certified nail technician. She got her cosmetology license, and she's actively building this brand for her beautiful daughter herself. So without further ado, I'd love to bring in my two beautiful sisters, Raijona Crear and Chyna Fleming. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Hello.
How are you doing, guys?
Love that introduction.
Right, me too. That was amazing. I was about to cry.
Right?
I gotta jazz my family. I got you. So before we start with our questions, we kind of wanted to give you both time to introduce, yourselves, kind of to give us a little bit of background of who you are, a little bit more facts about your business that I didn't touch upon. So we'll start with you, Ray. Give our little viewers some insight.
Not little viewers, big viewers, big viewers. But I just first and foremost want to say thank you so much for having us. Right. I think it's very, very, very important that us as budding entrepreneurs, as well as just, Black young professionals, is very important that we set the standard and we use all of the platforms that we do have to move with intent, right? And to make sure that we are pushing a positive narrative and kind of taking back what we have been seeing about, Black people in the media. So I think this is really, really dope. So thank you. But as Justin mentioned, so I do have a wonderful, wonderful lifestyle brand called Hot Shit the Label. What started as pretty much something that I was using to help me build my own confidence turned out to be something that has kind of like just took its own like brains, like it just went and kind of built on its own. So the whole mantra, like hot shit, kind of very self-explanatory. It's just about using what you have and making the most of it, right? We're not always going to be, have the perfect figure. We're not always going to have or be able to afford the best clothes and things like that. But God did bless us with the things that we do have, whatever that is individually. So it's very important that I feel like people kind of bring that out. And I feel like fashion is such universal. Fashion is such a universal way of communicating. So I feel like when you wear clothes, they should speak for you. You know what I mean? Like it's our very own way of speaking before we even actually open our mouths. So I kind of wanted that to be my message. So, and just like Justin mentioned, by doing that, it kind of just led me in so many different rabbit holes. I put out my first single, MOF. It's actually on Apple Music and actually all streaming platforms. And again, I just felt like my brand helped me to kind of figure out who I am and just be confident enough to try different things, because once I saw wow, I have the confidence to try this and put this out here. I can do pretty much anything. It literally started with me laying down, maybe 2017. I'm laying down on my bed. I'm like, I am broke. Okay. I am broke. And something has to change. I get the whole 9 to 5, did the college thing. That was awesome. But in this new world, right, it's almost like you can't survive.
Yeah.
Or live the life or to the standard that I held myself to,
right.
where I want to see myself.
Right.
So I needed to, kind of fill in those gaps. So I went on Facebook. I already had like, pretty popular, kind of have like my own group of people, a little network. I'm like, hey, I'm about to drop some t-shirts with my face on them. Who want them? That day, no idea what I was doing. I made like $1,500, and that was my start to literally push a t-shirt line. And then from there, I kind of just grew the confidence and learned the skill from there. There's so many like young entrepreneurs like ourselves who are even teaching on YouTube, teaching us on Facebook. So I just really kind of just took advantage of that, used what I had to get to where I needed to be, and boom, how should the label was born.
Right.
Wow. Thank you. I talk a lot, so just
that was actually said a lot of stuff that I didn't really like even know, to be honest. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes too, like a lot of people think, especially with being an entrepreneur, matter of fact, with anything, is like you have to have the money to start.
Right.
You have to have this. As long as you have direction, positive intentions, and the ability to find the knowledge and do the research, you can literally do anything. The money can come last. You might be talking to someone and they might want to fund whatever idea or dream you have and turn it into a reality. So don't ever think that you have to have the money to start, because as long as you have it right here, anything is possible.
Right. And it's funny that you mentioned that, Ray, because like for me, when I started Zemi Beauty Bar, I didn't have a lot of money, and I started during COVID.
Right.
And that was, I wouldn't say it was difficult. The only difficult thing about it was me, one, living with my mother.
Right.
And I had to be very careful, with, the people that I allow in her home. And I also had my daughter too, and she was just born. She was about 3 months. So I had to be very, very, very careful. So she would be in the other room while, I'm whipping up some nails. And I went to school during COVID too.
Right.
So, that was difficult. It was very, very difficult because, again, like I have to be careful. I have to be mindful of everyone that I live with. And I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it. Because I'm gonna say it, but I was getting unemployment at that time.
Yeah.
No, but listen, I was getting unemployment at that time, and I used that money to pay for school.
I see what you.
Right, but I'm and I was like, I don't want any loans. Like I need to, figure out something. So I just, went to school, and thank God I don't have to pay anything back. I was very smart about that. And it honestly just grew from there. But I was scared to start my business. I was so scared to start my business because I'm not the kind of person that like puts myself out there a lot, and I don't really, I'm very to myself. Like I will say I'm like an introverted person. So like, me starting that, I really gained that, like that push from having my kid, and wanting to build for her. Like I do these things all for her. Like she inspires me the most. And I always get emotional when I talk about it because she just inspires me a lot,
She's the light of our world.
Yeah, she's like,
to be honest.
My God. She's such an amazing kid. And she's just amazing. She's amazing.
She is.
But yeah, like Justin said, she's my inspiration, and Zemi Beauty Bar is going to take off, and she will never have to work for anyone ever. And that's the goal, because I had to work extremely hard. I worked in food for like years. I would say like 6-7 years. My first job was Chipotle, and I would never go back. Like I would never go back to food because that's not my passion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that I started my route to being an entrepreneur, because that was the best decision that I would ever make. Really.
Amen.
Really.
Now, in both of you deciding to take that risk and take this
Mhm.
journey into entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
have either of you, whether in the beginning stages or even now, have you guys had a mentor in your life that maybe helped guide you through this journey?
You want to take that one first?
You know what? I would definitely say my mom. My mom is my mentor. I can't even say one person. It's really my family. Like the people that I'm with every day. My sister, Raijona, Justin, my other sister, Brandy. And they really just push me. They always tell me little things like, you can't think about what other people are doing. You got to think about yourself.
Right.
Like, and sometimes I'm an overthinker. So sometimes I'll be like, oh my God, like, why am I not gaining so many following? Like, why is it like this? Like, why aren't people noticing? And it's like, now I know, like, I can't focus on that. I have to focus on my work. I have to focus on what I'm presenting to people,
Right.
And the more I focus on that, the more viewers I got, the more interest that I got. And I was like, you know what? Let me just keep doing me and just remember to always focus on myself.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I did not have a mentor, but I do want to say shout out to my guy Phil Reyes. As soon as I mentioned that I wanted to do anything that was like clothes related, t-shirt related, he jumped at the opportunity to throw me ideas for vendors or things like that. But for the most part, I did all the hard work. I found who I needed to speak with, how I needed to get connected. I went through that trial and error process by myself, to be completely honest. But just like Chyna mentioned, it has been a combination of our village that keeps us pushing, keeps the support going. So I would certainly say it's been probably my family, for real, who's guided this whole process.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's a support for me.
Right? Okay.
All right. So I have 2 questions for both of you. These are questions based off of my knowledge of you as well as your businesses.
Okay.
My first question is for you, Chai. So this question, I wanted to kind of talk about being a mom while also being entrepreneurship. A lot of Black moms nowadays, they're kind of resigned to their role as being moms. They kind of are either afraid of stepping out on their own to having their own entrepreneurship or enterprise, I should say, rather, or they just kind of don't really know the resources to do so. So what advice do you have to moms that want to pursue enterprises or pursue opening up a business?
So I'm just going to give you guys a little background of my story and how I juggle, because it's not easy. Being a full-time mom, having a full-time job, being able to, try to make time for yourself, taking self-care days.
Right.
Also I'm in a relationship too. So that's a whole nother thing I have to worry about,
Right.
And it is extremely hard. And a lot of people don't know this, but I have anxiety. I have really bad anxiety sometimes. And again, I overthink. So one thing I will say for the moms that are juggling everything, it's so important to just take time out for yourself. If you're an overthinker, if you have anxiety, if you suffer from depression, and you have these thoughts in your head, just what I like to do, I get a journal.
Great advice.
I have one, and I just write anything that's on my mind. I just write, because I tend to just get into my head so much to where I think negative, and it can have an effect on your day. You will go to work thinking people talking about you. I'm just who's saying this? You know what I mean? I have to really take my time and my my day to myself,
Right.
So my best advice, if you're a mom, just please take your time for yourself. That's number one. Self-care is number one.
Can I add to that? I'm not a mom.
Yeah.
I feel like I see a lot of moms trying to do it on their own.
Yeah.
So I think that it's also very important that if you do need the help, don't ever be scared or afraid to say it. And I think that just goes for saying in general, not even just being a mom. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help just means you need assistance. And that's it. A hand up is completely different than a handout. So.
And again, now that you talk about that, Ray, because I have that problem too. Like,
and that's kind of why
that
I
is like
to be
like
completely
I
honest.
Like it's so hard to get out of that, because when you have been doing stuff like, independently for so long, you don't even know how to ask. Like, you just be like somebody just be like, why didn't you ask? And I'm like, I don't.
It's not an option.
What's that? You be like, what is that?
Right.
Like, why am I asking you? I'm gonna figure it out, because I always did. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, me being in a relationship now and having somebody that is like,
right.
He helps so much. Like, and this is something that I'm not used to. So like, certain things, like, I don't even have to ask. Like, he would just do. You know what I mean? And then it's like, when I'm stressing, like when I'm like, going through certain things, he'll be like, why you didn't just like, ask me? Like, I'm here for a reason. Like, just ask. And I'm like, what? Like, what is that? I don't know. Like,
yes,
I don't even know.
You gotta get
like how to.
Right. It's like I call it balance, right? I feel like for a lot of people who have that independence, it is very, very, very hard to feel like you're stepping back and allowing someone to come in and and you know what I mean, do essentially what you've been doing. So it's also too, like, that sense of ownership. But I think an easy way to kind of get comfortable with it is to just do it. Like, I know that sounds so crazy, but it's possible to literally just say and be real with yourself. I think the most important piece of this all of entrepreneurship, of everything in life, is transparency.
Right.
And understanding our capacity and what we realistically can do versus what we cannot. And once you come to that term and get to that point of balance, you kind of get to that point. But I just feel like it takes a while to get there. I feel like it's even grown people growner than us, our grandparents, who still haven't even figured out that balance of life. So you live and you learn.
I'm glad you brought that up, Raijona, because my question for you is, for as long as I've known you, you've been somebody that has wore multiple hats. I mean, you have this clothing line, you have your music career, you have the smoke shop, and you've also done some feature acting roles in some films. So
everything
you've done a lot of things in your entrepreneur career. How do you balance the wearing the multiple hats and doing it all? Because I want the secret, sis.
So I think juggling multiple hats just means kind of just scheduling it all out. Scheduling it's all out. I cannot speak today. I think I am a very all over the place person. I go with where my heart goes, whether it makes sense or not. So that's pretty much how I just feel like I've been blessed to be able to do it, because when the opportunity presents itself, I kind of just schedule around it. I think the most important key piece is just being able to prioritize. So I know, my 9 to 5 schedule when it comes to work, and then so anything outside of that, I know that I can take it on. So that's pretty much it. And then the most important piece too is just not being lazy.
Right.
That's it. When I think about it, I think about every opportunity being a new space for me to get richer and get out of this mindset that I'm in now. So I just take every opportunity and go with it. As long as it makes sense for my brand, of course, because, you don't want to water yourself down or even overexert yourself trying to do it all. But I just know that, like, the things that I am doing, it's things that I've been wanting to do. It's like kind of like my life bucket list. And it's important for me to, you know, at least try those things, especially if I have the time right now. And I feel like we're young. If there's any time to do it, it's now. I just turned 30, for full disclosure. I know I don't look but 30 is like the new whatever. I don't know. But and I feel accomplished. And that is because I never was afraid to say no. And I'm also never afraid to say yes. If that kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's when you get to a point of, again, knowing knowing what you bring to the table. That's the essence of it all. I know that I'm a powerhouse. I know for sure. So when I walk into a situation, I'm going to give it 100% unapologetically, Raijona. And that's what's gonna help me balance it out. If I don't know, like
that makes sense.
It works for me. Like, so it's kind of hard to kind of put it into words, I guess. But I would say for sure, just kind of schedule it out as the opportunities present itself. Prioritize what you want to do. Look at what aligns with your brand, and go from there.
It's so funny that you say, like, when you said, like, I say no, but I definitely say yes. I just want to, like, touch base on that. Please do. Just started saying no.
Good.
Like, if y'all know me, I just started saying no. Like,
she never says no.
I'm always,
she gets uncomfortable.
Like, yeah, I can do it. Knowing, like, no, I don't want to, or, like, I don't have the time, but I always want, like, I have a problem with, like, I always want to please, like, others. You know what I mean? And it's like, now I'm in a space where I'm like, no. What you say? No. Like, I'm like, I'm saying no. Like, if it don't feel right, I'm saying no. And then it's like, when I say no, everybody's like, oh my God. Like, she said,
because it's new. It's new. It's a new phenomenon coming from you. Because again, another thing too is me being able to pull off so many things is I never let people put me in a box ever. I don't even put myself in a box. I make sure to let people know that just when you think you have me figured out, boom, I'm an actress. Boom, I dropped a song. You know, like, I just feel like there's so many different levels to me that I need to figure out a way to give it to the world. And I think, and then just like touching base back to what you said, it kind of all comes for full circle. Because if I didn't say no, I wouldn't have enough time to even say yes.
Exactly.
And it's just so important too. And also what you said is pleasing people and wanting to naturally please people is not a bad thing. It's completely normal. And entrepreneurship, you're going to learn easy that you can't please everybody.
You can't, exactly.
The want and the need, absolutely. We can always have that. That's a human thing, you know? But when it comes to work, when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to services, when it comes to getting shit done, excuse me, I don't know if I can curse. When it comes to getting things done, it's no. You gotta please the brand.
Right. Period.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know, in some people's businesses, the customer's always right, but not over here. Absolutely not.
What challenges or obstacles have you all faced in being an entrepreneur that you would like to share?
Chyna, you want to
go? Some of mine is just, honestly, I'm still trying to figure out how to juggle being a mom and you know, focusing on my business. That I feel like I'm a new mom, you know, like, I'm a first time mom. It's my first daughter, so I'm still trying. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to, you know, figure things out for myself, and that is like my biggest obstacle, because it's just, again, I have anxiety, so it's just hard. Like, I'm trying to make time for her, and I am, you know, I'm doing it. And then at the same time, you know, I'm trying to go to work, and I have to work so many hours. I work 8+ hours. Sometimes I'll do 10, sometimes I'll do 11 hours. It's like, it don't matter. But at the same time, it's like, I gotta go home and I gotta be a mom, and I'm trying to cook. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta make food, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And like I said before, I just try like to deal with that. I just try to just, have my days. Like today I got my lashes done.
Yeah, they
And
look
I feel
awesome, by
so
the way. They
good.
look beautiful.
I
Yeah,
feel
you look,
so
it's
good.
exuding. I'm feeling
Yeah.
it. I get it.
And it's like, I try to do those things. Like, oh, I'll do my hair. Like, I'll change up my hair. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I will do certain things. Like, my nails. Like, if I don't have time to do my nails, I go to Walgreens or CVS to get some press-ons. And it look like this. And they look pretty. So it's like, those are the things that, like, I try to do. And those are things that I'm going through now. But, I mean, I'm pushing. I'm going through it. And I know, like, I'm going through all this for a reason, Right. And I'm only destined for greatness.
That's right. You gotta keep reminding yourself.
I just gotta keep reminding myself. I gotta keep pushing. And I thank God for everybody that's in my corner that's pushing me too. And they're like when I have my days where I really be wanting to give up, and I'm like, I don't even want to do this anymore because it's too much. Like, I don't even want to. Like, I will be like, oh my God, like, is this really worth it? Like, is this time that I'm taking away from my daughter, like, worth, Raijona? Those are the nails I did, by the way.
Free promo.
Yes. Those are the nails
going
I
on
did.
Friday to get a refill.
Yes. Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be there.
But yeah, like, sometimes I'll have my moments where I'm like, I don't even want to go because, like, I don't know if it's good for me to, like, miss time, because I went from being with my kid during COVID, and I thank God for that. I had that time to spend with my daughter, because I feel like in those ages they need you the most, and I was able to be there for her.
Amen.
But now that she's older, I'm like, I feel like I'm just missing out on some things. But again, I just thank God that I have, like, the support,
Right.
So yeah.
Can I add? Well, I just want to add to your.
Yeah.
I know working with her. So outside of Hot Shit the label, so I'm a problem solver, right? So if I see something that needs to be fixed, or I'm gonna figure out how to do it and how to get paid for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working with all these different people. So I work in mental health, my 9 to 5 in social services, right? So I'm doing that right now as I transition out. So I pretty much do consultant work for them. And with that being said, I created my own business out of that. So it's called Baraka Lee Consulting. So I do small social media marketing, and I help small entrepreneurs and brands put together, their business, right? So what it looks like, what is their presence online? What would it look like in person? So things like that, with like logos, websites, whatever, the whole shebang. And then doing that, of course, I look at the templates and things like that for Chyna's business. I'm looking at her Instagram. What could this and what is that and this and that? So I know one thing that she and I always discuss is how do we continue to make content in an ever-changing social media world. So I know for both of us, that's been something that we've talked about on numerous occasions of how do you keep people engaged? How do you stay in tune with the trends? And how do you just keep people engaged in your business? And I think that is one of the biggest keys right now to staying afloat. And one of the biggest challenges also, because everyone is not tech savvy. And sometimes, believe it or not, every entrepreneur isn't personable. And doesn't want to do this like one-on-one communication thing. So how do you kind of still keep people engaged? And another thing for me too, for me is just quality control, right? So when you're first starting an apparel business with anything, right, the first thing people are going to say is, ugh, is that a quality shirt?
Yeah.
Is this or that?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Do I want to pay this much money for that? Same thing in the beauty and care, beauty and skin business, right? So people are always trying to negate the quality of your products and how much is worth. Like they're trying to always pinpoint those. So I think that you kind of you start scaling a little bit and everything, trying to figure out your finances, and just essentially just trying to get better, right? So I think that is another hard thing. And then also too is staying on top of things. Like you mentioned, Chai, it's like it's hard because it's different when you have your traditional 40-hour work week. You're done. once that's done. But being an entrepreneur means nothing is ever done. You walk outside and someone says, hey, you know, can we do this? Can we do that? You know, so it's like it never ever stops. So it's like you have to always remember that you are in character, regardless of where you are. You at the club, you at Starbucks, you at your 9 to 5, whatever, by any means. The difference between you and a Steve Jobs, or the difference between, and I'm gonna say it, between you and a Kanye, is that consistency. If you stay consistent, that speaks volumes. So just stay consistent.
True. Yeah. Usually what I would do, if I'm stressed about something, about a job or something, I will be out. That's it. You got 3 chances with me, and that's it. Because it's my peace is for me, that's what I'm protecting. And if I feel like it's not right, then it's just not right for me. But I'm in a space now, right, where again my peace is my priority. At the same time, I'm not gonna say but, I'm gonna just say at the same time, I feel like sometimes you just have to sacrifice for your business, and like she said, consistency is key. You just have to be consistent in your work and you will get far.
Gotcha.
Back, Ray?
Yep, I'm back like I never left.
So I want to ask a question to all 3 of the entrepreneurs in the call, because my fellow co-host Quentin is also a small business owner.
I know that's
has a business, Coquito IC. It is a Black-owned ice cream business that uses coquito as a base to make a variety of different ice creams. I can personally vouch for the red velvet. I can vouch for the red velvet cheesecake ice cream.
You love red velvet.
Listen, it's divine, and I'm gonna fight Quentin until the hell ends of this earth to make it a full-time flavor.
Well, Quentin, just to plug it in here. So we have a smoke shop, as Justin mentioned. So not only is it a smoke shop, but it's also it's called Little Cali. So you can imagine, with that being said, what it's supposed to be. So it's going to be kind of like your local hangout. So we are going to be offering small bites to eat. We like to call it high eats, because we are a smoke shop. So if you're looking for some snacks, we have different healthy smoothies. We'll have little paninis. So if you are interested in getting your ice cream there, we are more than welcome. I'm sorry, not more than welcome. We would love to have you. Yes, I got excited when you said coquito ice cream.
Everybody loves some coquito ice cream.
Yes,
everybody loves
brilliant
coquito.
Idea. Oh my God,
that's amazing.
Listen, the flavors are amazing, and
I see it all in your face,
you guys.
I can tell it's good.
But I wanted to pose a question to the 3 of you, because you are small business owners, and I kind of wanted you to define entrepreneurship, in your own terms for our viewers here who may kind of want to explore that world a bit more.
You got to take this one.
Hey, I mean, ladies first, but I'll start. Entrepreneurship for me is just being able to be your own boss, being able to not have to answer to anyone. You can make your own times, and it's something that you love to do. And because you love to do it, it's not a job. You just you'll just be in bed and just be like, I have an idea, and then just do it. And it won't stress you out. You won't have no issues. It's the only thing that comes in is the legwork, and that's it. Yeah. If you have that drive and you do the legwork, everything else falls into place.
Exactly.
Amen.
Right. That's just really what it is.
That.
To be honest, that's, he just said everything. To be honest.
No, seriously. I can't even say, in the ad and
right. He said everything.
Because I think I like to call it my lifelong passion project, because at the end of the day, I'm the one calling the shots. And the key factor of being an entrepreneur is you get to put your own price on what your service is, or what you're putting out, your product, everything. And I think that is such an amazing aspect of it all, because that's why I did it, to be honest. I got sick filling out these resumes and going to sit down in these interviews. And
I don't want to do that no more.
No, absolutely not. For somebody to
Nobody
tell
wants
you
to do
you're
that.
only gonna get $12 an hour,
Right?
and
And how you
that's
gonna
not
tell
even a
me?
livable wage. Like it's
Right.
just,
And how
it's
you
just
gonna tell
pathetic.
me? How you gonna tell me how much I'm
I'm
supposed to
worth?
make? Like
It
how much
doesn't
I'm
make any
worth?
sense.
Right? Like you just said. Like how you gonna tell me how much I'm worth?
You can't.
Right.
And that's why we are all living and thriving and working
Right.
hard to build these $1 million
Right.
companies and businesses, and also
Right.
to help others do the same. Because I feel like this is, look at me segueing out, but I feel like entrepreneurship is the way up for the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen so much progression in such a short amount of time than now. The amount of knowledge right now that Black folks are dropping towards each other and helping to build with one another. And again, just like taking chances, this podcast allowing us to speak about our experiences is going to, you know what I mean? This is holy grail right here, because you never know who you helping. What is it? Each one teach one or something like that.
Yep.
But just I could also pose that question to you and Burnett. Okay. This is our platform. So you're also an entrepreneur. So what is that to you?
I mean, wow, I got put on the spot here.
You good at this though. You know how to be on the spot. So
For real.
Come on.
For real.
Oh, all right. I think for me, entrepreneurship is all about basically making a enterprise of what makes, making an enterprise out of the best qualities that makes you. I mean, I feel like every one of us, whether we know it or not, or whether we realize it later in life, we all have something about us that makes us special and individual. Nowadays, we have a lot more women stepping up to take control of their businesses and also get in that field. What feelings does that bring to you hearing that and seeing this rise of entrepreneurship amongst Black women?
If there's one thing about me, is I love me a come up, okay? But even more than a come up, I love to see a Black person come up. And anybody can take that how they want, but it's exactly how it's meant to be taken. Because at the end of the day, to see where we have come from, and to think that they thought that slavery and everything else in between was going to be our demise. So again, to see this uprising, just like I mentioned, like this manifestation of what we want to do and having the opportunities to do it is just, it puts a smile on my face. I feel like it's so much more motivation. And it's so much more empowering to watch people around me or people that look like me take stake in this economy. Like it is. I've like just to mention like some of my favorite entrepreneurs right now. Like I know you see Milano. I know you see Dow House Beauty. I don't know. That's a beauty brand. Super Scent from from New Orleans. She has a crayon case. I have literally watched these women manifest and do the legwork for their brands. And I'm talking starting with 0 followers, starting with 0 products, starting with 0 anything. So to see that just means that I can do it. And to see that just means my kids can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's setting a whole new precedence in this world, just to see especially Black women kind of remove themselves from these stereotypes and these these low standards that people put on us, right? Because they love to box the Black woman, right? They love to say, oh, she's gonna be dealing with this and dealing with that, and she's not gonna ever amount to this and amount to that. So to see us do it is like, okay, what's next? Because everything we do, we eat. Like, this is light to us, So it's like, it's empowering. Like, it makes me want to do more. To be honest, I'm ready to amp it up right now. I want to see more of us. Right. So, ooh, that got me. Ooh, need some wine. Okay, that was very. Talk about Black women now. That gets it going.
Chai, so the question that I had asked Ray, and I'm gonna spin it a little bit for you because you're 23 right now, so you're part of the newer generation.
24.
24, 24,
Ooh,
24, I think
getting
correctly.
old.
Spicy. But you're a part of the new wave of young Black entrepreneurs coming into the business. So I was highlighting that, we're seeing a rise of young girl bosses coming up, but also a rise of, younger people coming up to take on bigger roles in their careers. I mean, people in your generation, they're not doing the 9 to 5 route. They're looking for
Yeah,
different ways
that's
to
Yep.
so true.
expand
Straight into it.
and be bigger than just
Right.
the traditional ways that like people of Raijana's generation or me, Quentin, and Burnett's generation. So,
Right.
what thoughts and feelings do you think they'll come to you hearing that?
One thing I will say is right now I feel like everybody has a talent, and everybody should utilize that talent. And for me, when I was younger, I always had this talent. But again, like going back to what I said before, I was scared to, bring it into light because I was worried about what others would think. And what's so special about this generation now is that I don't care. They're utilizing every single platform that they can use.
And whether
it don't
whether
even
or not,
matter like
whether or not they have the talent or not.
right. They're
still
utilizing
trying.
it. And what's crazy too about this is like they're using like these little dances on TikTok to get viral and they're making money off of it.
Yeah.
They're smart. they're so smart.
Is it okay? So I kind of have this weird space. Is it smart or is it taking advantage of
It's
the trend?
I think it's both. Though. I think it's
okay,
both.
yeah. I won't take away. I have this weird beef with generation, whatever the heck they are, X, Z,
Gen Z.
because, like I said, you see, like at least with us, we like, you're good. You should try to.
Yeah,
you should do that. No, these kids are like, I'm gonna try nails today. I sucked. I'm still gonna keep trying.
Right.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give up in 2 weeks. Now I'm doing eyelashes. You know what? I just messed up people's eyes, so now I'm gonna go and learn how to do makeup now. Matter of fact, I want to paint sneakers. Like
eyes.
It's like
you said, I mess up people's eyes
because it's a lot going on. Like I know it ain't. Miss, I could do everything. Like telling people to stop, but it's like you gotta at least study the things that you're trying to do first before you jump out and kind of attack it. Don't get me wrong, some people are just blessed and can just do it, make it work, but the issue that I have and that I see like with these new and up and coming, like I guess you could say trendy entrepreneurs, is that is it passion or is it I'm doing it because everybody else is doing it and I want the money? So that's kind of where like, is it smart or is it taking advantage?
Is it taking advantage? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So like, I feel like a lot of our industries kind of get watered down, and then that's when we have just a lot of pushback now, like where people aren't necessarily doing it for the brand anymore. So it kind of complicates and again waters down the industry. But then again, also too, I would never use that as a way to deter people from trying things, right? Because at the end of the day, it's still trying, and we can't ever knock somebody for trying to do it. It's just about the route that they're going about it. Like, do your work, do your research, and realize that it doesn't always come easy, even though it can. Don't get me wrong, because you can wake up and be a overnight, sensation. But realistically, we got to stop thinking of that microwave success, right? Because that's not longevity. You don't get when you put your food in the microwave, you taking away all the nutrients from it, right? You removing the seasoning, the real spice, what makes it. You taking all that flavor away, right? When you put that thing on the stove or in the oven and you prepare it right and you make it the right way with love and not expecting it to be done so fast, you know what I'm saying? It's going to come out a certain way. by the time you eat it, or the person who eats it, they consuming the love, right? They consuming that passion. And I think that is where we're kind of getting a little bit mixed up. And that's kind of also too where I feel like a lot of people aren't even taking being an entrepreneur serious, right? And a lot of people sometimes don't even understand that people have been entrepreneurs for 10, 20 years and they ain't seen nothing. People have been trying to be a rapper for 20 years. I know y'all got a big homie who, where's it going, bro? Like, make it make sense. So I just feel like at the end of the day, everybody, you can try, but try to make it make sense.
Right.
So I think Chyna spoke on it a little earlier with regard to like talent, how everyone has one. And that kind of goes towards like everyone has a purpose, right? So Raijona, you kind of brought up an interesting point, because it's like, okay, someone would want to be an entrepreneur, but what credentials gives them the right to say that they're this expert, or that people should trust in their business or trust in their brand? So like, that's a big concern, because I mean, when people invest in you, they're investing in your brand, they're investing in your purpose and your talents. But if you're just saying, well, I just want to do this today and then I'm just going to jump and do something else, but you don't really study that craft, I mean, what's you know, the point? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like I got a lot of thoughts on that, to be quite honest, because I have a lot of serial triers. That's what I call them. They call themselves serial entrepreneurs. Yeah, there are actually some people who can get it popping. Everything's going, but that's because, again, they've done that legwork. I just feel that people just need to stop thinking that their route is like everyone else's, right? If my circumstances is always going to be different from all of y'all's, you know what I'm saying? So things that make it work for me might not work for you. And I think that we all need to get more comfortable as a community, as a world, with understanding that, like, you do you and do it your way, but also respect the industry. Like, you can do things and do it your way, but at the end of the day, respect the industry, respect those that come before you, respect those that come after you. And I feel like out of all of that we mentioned is the respect piece, right? Because you have people, for example, like Chyna, who are, you know, making all these sacrifices and doing it because not only is it her passion, but it's putting food on the table for her kids. So when you got somebody coming and playing, you feel me, putting fungus in people's nails and you know, like, make it make sense. Like, you just doing stuff on people, but you're not doing it with any intent of, are you trying to make them feel happy? Are you trying to, again, are you putting food on for your kids and stuff like that? Because if your intentions are pure, if your intentions are not all money related, you're going to be doing it for the right reason. And the right reason means that you did your work, right? You researched, you studied, you probably sat in and watched nail techs, or you watched somebody in your industry for a long time before you even decided to jump off that porch and get going, like, you know, feet first. So it's like, it's hard. It's such a sticky thing, because the real me, the not professional me, wants to say, sit the F down, you know, like, hang it up, bro, like, stop. You making it harder for everybody else. But then the other hustler me, the professional me, wants to say, you know what? You're doing it. You're trying. You just got to try it this way. But another issue too with when, you know, with all these people just jumping and doing things, they already don't care about why you're doing it. A lot of people don't understand that being an entrepreneur, your why is why people support you. Right. People don't get that. Your why is the most important. Your why is the difference between getting a bank loan or getting a fiduciary or some funding. Like, that why is very, very, very important. And until people can figure out their whys, they ain't gonna get nothing. You could get that fast cash, you could get all that, but I promise you that dies down. That does not create longevity. That consistency, that passion, building that network, and literally doing the legwork. I keep saying it. That is what's going to make the difference.
Right.
Word, honey.
So we usually wrap up with a fun question for our guests. I kind of want to say to those so put yourself in the shoes of a young Black woman who has a business idea. She wants to go about it, but she doesn't know where to start. What advice would you give her?
You want to go, Chai? I'm channeling my inner.
What advice? She doesn't know where to start. Honestly, just go for it.
Right.
Like, there's really nothing else to say, but just go for it and do it. There's nothing wrong with trying something. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You try something else. But like we said about passion, just make sure that you're passionate about it and make sure it's something that you love to do, because there's no point in you know, starting something and you don't love it. It's not gonna be fun.
Oh, I love that.
So that's what I gotta say.
It kind of puts you back at square one, right? Like
because I just started to think about like where I started, and I was scared, and I was like, man, why? Why am I scared? I'm gonna just do it. And like I said, like if it don't work, it don't work. Same thing about me moving out here to Atlanta. I told myself, I said, if it don't work, it don't work. I can always move somewhere else.
Home is home.
Wrong. You are not, like, you're not tied down to anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're not tied down, and you're young, you know? So it's just, try whatever you want.
Even if you are young, though, it's never too late.
It's never
to change your life.
Right.
And that's always how I see it.
Right. It's never too late.
Right. My advice was to go ahead and go get on that internet. You already on it. Go right on that phone, go right on Google and type in exactly what it is that you want to do. Start your research.
You can
it's
find
right
there.
On Google. Everything that you want is literally at your fingertips.
Right.
Like it doesn't make any sense how attainable information, resources is these days
on social media.
So you'll be doing your own self like a disservice if you don't do the work. So you can't expect to ask people for the answer. You can't get mad that you asked Ray, or that you asked Ray, oh, how to do that, and I said, do your own work. That's okay too. And also that, please, that's another one of my things. As an entrepreneur, it is okay to share information. You do not have to gatekeep where you got your shirts done from or where. All that is free information. However, if someone is asking you to get it priced out, or how much is this and how much is that, you turn that into another business, okay? Now that you consulting for them, just so everybody knows that when somebody asks for a favor, a professional favor, you make it professional, okay? You put a dollar on top. Like at the end of the game, because it's a game, entrepreneurship, every interaction can be a transaction if you do it right. Maybe not immediately, but somewhere along the line, because at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, again, you representing your brand, your words are checks.
Speaking of what you just saying, I just got to add something.
Please do.
When I was in school, this is just a story, just a quick story time. When I was in school, there were a lot of students there that felt like they weren't learning enough. Right. And which is true, because I feel like when you go to school, I feel like they don't teach you
what you know,
like art. Like they don't teach you nail art. They don't teach you those things. They only teach you the basics. I feel like before you go to school, you really have to like know like this is what you want to do. You have to practice. I feel like you have to practice before you jump into anything.
Right.
And when I was there, I was teaching some of those girls there, and I'm like,
talk about it.
I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I? I'm not a teacher. The teacher is sitting right there.
But you are.
Why are you not teaching? But you listen. Are. I'm like, So I noticed like it was one girl, then it was like another, then it was another, and then it was just like a group of people surrounding me, and I'm just, showing them how to do nails. And then I'm like, why am I not, teaching classes? Like, why am I not, doing this? So then I actually got an opportunity to work at the school and to be a teacher.
Right.
I decided I wasn't going to take it. I'm going to tell you why. Because they try to, the numbers wasn't right for me. And I'm like, if you want me to teach, you need to pay me what I deserve. And I'm not, I don't care how many days I'm working. Like when you get it set by me, your nails aren't lifting. You're not getting a fungus. Like that's just what it is. So it's like, you are going to have to pay me what I deserve. And I stand by that. Like, I would never accept anything. Opportunities are going to come and opportunities are going to go. You don't have to accept every opportunity that falls to you. You can decline. It's okay to be like, this isn't for me. Like, that's fine. But, you know, I just wanted to share that because I'm like, that right there,
is a learning experience in
definitely
itself. But
definitely.
Look at, so just kind of wrapping up everything that we said,
right?
That story was like, it kind of showed all those elements. You see what I'm saying? By you walking into your passion and doing passion work, you are revealing and discovering more talents that you're naturally good at, right? That's how you know when it's for you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you have that patience, you have all those qualities of an awesome artist, of a you feel me, of an efficient nail tech, of someone that can be trusted, right? When you have that natural, and I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs have this, right? It's that empathetic bone. Like it's something that I feel like is a very, very special quality. And that's something that, because being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. Like, you have to be able to always make it work. And you have to have an understanding of yourself first,
right?
What works for you and what doesn't work for you. And then second, whatever that passion is, right? So it's just very, very, very important that you can come to a part in your career or in your journey, right, of whatever your industry is, and when you can say, I will not do anything for less than this, because now you've entered another level, right? And everybody wishes to get to that level. That's that balance that I was talking about, right? It's the most important thing. It always comes back full circle, because once you're able to put your money where your mouth is, and when I say that, you finally have the experience to match the paper, right? When you finally have the followers to match the work, you know what I'm saying, or the product, now you can talk that, you see? And that's, and bringing it back again, and that is the difference between trying to start stuff with different intentions, right? Because if it's your passion, it falls into place.
Right.
When it's not, it's a struggle.
That's facts.
And I want a lot of people to really take heed to that, because just like love, yes, it's hard work, right? It's hard work, but it's not difficult. You see what I'm saying? It's hard work. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, you gotta kind of start thinking, damn, every time I try to do this keeps happening and this and that. Sometimes that's your sign. And as an entrepreneur, I can tell you, and as a woman who has worn many hats and tried a lot of things,
right?
When God tell you about 4 times and that bank account low, listen, all right? Listen, as an entrepreneur, know when to pull your hand, show your hand, and know how to play it. I digress.
That's facts.
You know what? I think I didn't want to say no more after that. I didn't just drop mic. Literally just drop mic. I definitely want to thank both of you, my lovely sisters. Thank you for the insight and the wisdom and just all the wealth of knowledge that you shared with us on this episode. I think it's very important that we continue to highlight more Black women like you that are out there doing the work within our communities and also within new communities for China and Atlanta, and just really just showing that Black women can, but also Black people can be successful entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Right. Just don't always be doing that.
I know.
You know what to say. Doesn't be knowing what to say.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh. But once again, guys, thank you for coming on our episode. But for our listeners and viewers, we want to say thank you for tuning in. And this has been another episode. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Bye.